In the early 70s, there was no chapel for students really on the campus. I guess most of them went to Holy Name. There was a small chapel in Thomas Hall, but that was basically reserved for the Jesuits. So someone, and I don't know who it was, decided to initiate a Sunday Mass at 10:30.
It had been started by my brother-in-law, Joe Tetlow, and my best friend, Don Jelpe, when Joe was dean at Loyola and Don was teaching philosophy. It was like the community that we had run together at Fordham, which is a community of students, faculty, and families.
Apparently the only available space was in the Audubon Room on the second floor of Dana Center, which is the Student Center. It was a wonderful, wonderful Mass, very well attended, and the music was outstanding, and of course, wonderful homilies. The attorney for the university told the president that since that building, the Student Center, was federally funded, he could not continue authorizing that Mass in that building. So by pure happenstance, the dental school here in Obey Hall was empty. So someone decided, thankfully, to convert the dental school's waiting room into the chapel. And that's the chapel we have today. It's still there. And we just sort of continued on. I think the best way that anyone described us was to say the 1030 community.
The community, I think, was formed as a community of sharing liturgy. And so the emphasis was on, this is one place in New Orleans where we can get a good liturgy. And that's why people came.
The word that goes with it, Moon Landry was actually the first person who I heard put this word to it. It felt intimate. You could feel the Spirit. You could feel the Spirit through the music, through the people, during the sign of peace. I mean, it was just a whole different experience. It was, to me, what church should be.
We always had a wonderful cooperation with Father Curry, who was a wonderful dean of campus ministry. He came to me and he said, look, I always have to work with you all and deal with you, but I have to have some structure. So that led to a meeting at which it was decided we would have an election of 4 or 5 people as a steering committee. Jim Prater, Ken Adolph, Lisa Zabando, and myself.
A couple of things started to happen after Katrina. University ministry had to face the changes that were required, asking us to take on more.
And that's when we had the big organizational meeting and did the leadership model.
The one that we landed on that made the most sense was a radial kind of thing, where in the center you had coordinators who kind of held things together. And then from that, you had the point person for each of the different ministries. And again, it was a community, a fellowship community, a community of equals, but you always needed that kind of linchpin in the middle to kind of keep things going in the right direction. And that ended up being Marcel and me together.
At the very heart of community is having discernment meetings. So we come together and we talk about issues and we make decisions as a community. And we also did a mission statement, which is on the website. And I think the community has to be a community to do a mission statement together.
It's really about being men and women for each other, with each other. It's that Jesuit, I think the Jesuit influence cannot be understated in this as well.
We have wonderful homilies from many great Jesuits. Over the years, there was one particular Jesuit who really was the soul of the community. That was Jerry Fagan.
He was a part of this community like no one else.
Like you were in the presence of God when he presided at our liturgies, and it was so magnificent.
John Konachek established our Triduum, and of course the Triduum is the highlight of our community's liturgical year.
I grew up in the community as a welcome member since I was a child, and from there, I got such deep seeds and roots of Ignatian spirituality, of the thousands of homilies from the Jesuits and all of their diversity, the Jesuits who came from different disciplines and intellectual fields, who brought their different styles and senses of humor and wit and wisdom to their homilies.
You could see the willingness of the Jesuits to open themselves and to bring it to us. I don't think I got that at other parishes. This was going to be our faith-building community, for building the children's faith and the spirit within them, and then for us. I started asking things like, could the kids start reading the prayers of the faithful? Could the kids start setting the altar? And they never told me no. They just always said yes. We started doing Christmas plays. Every year, it was a unique script. So always involved the nativity story, but then the kids would brainstorm the different ideas and we would build it around that. It was fun, and the unity that grew, that was such an opportunity for the kids to all get to know each other better. The parents would bring sandwiches so that all the parents got involved. Anna Schmidt made costumes. Laura was always there to help with the directing and the organization of it. And then the sending forth. It's a beautiful little ceremony for our youth when they graduated from high school and were leaving for college. So it's an opportunity for the community to talk about this person's spiritual growth and development within the community, through a community representative, the parent to talk about that, and then the young person speaks. And it's a beautiful ceremony where they light candles and are celebrated. Most of the time, it was very restricted. The main way we kept alive, the way everybody else did, was through video. It was definitely living the COVID life for a good period of time. And then when we opened up completely, there's some people who still haven't come back. I'm not saying we need to promote and get 200 people here, but it'd be nice to have a few more to go back to what we were before COVID. We'll soon be moving into a new chapel. My hope is that this community will continue to be responsive of the needs of the people within the community, and then look at where we are in the world and grow in response to that.
Ignatius Chapel really is, as Ed Vasic pointed out in a homily once, we are a small Christian community, right? We are not led by any one person, by a priest or anyone else. We own the work collectively with those who step up to the plate so beautifully, but really everyone participating in their own way. And from that, we understand that we as lay people can continue the work of Jesuit mission and have a loaves and fishes approach to everything that we do.
I would say that 99% of the people that come to the Ignatius Chapel community don't come because they have to. They come because they want to.
We are church for each other, we're family for each other, we're love for each other, and there's no other place I want to be on Sunday morning.